Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Gaming. So today we're going to go over the best cards, or at least in my opinion, what the best cards in BT16 are. We've got some powerhouse, a bit of power creep, all in one. I'm excited for this set. I know it's got a couple little questionable cards on the power creep situation, but the set looks beyond fun. And as a longtime Imperial player that unfortunately had to give up the deck, we got a new keyword that's bringing it back, and I'm super excited to talk about that one, but it doesn't stop just there. We've got lots to discuss today. Also, if you could just do me a quick favor, just jump over to my Twitch right quick and give me a quick follow. Just trying to get to that 50 followers, guys. Would really greatly appreciate all the support, as well as please like this video. Literally, it's the only thing the YouTube algorithm gives a crap about. So just quickly hit the like button and then let's rock into this list. All right, so there is a decent number of stuff to go over out of this. Of course, we could start with the big guns, and I feel like that's a wrong idea because we already know what those are. So I want to start somewhere else, right? Somewhere with something that maybe not everyone is considering, and I think this card is going to be incredible, and it's going to be a mainstay card for probably quite some time, and that's the Kosuke Tamer here from Seekers, Tartarus. Ooh, spoilers. But yeah, he is a memory setter, right? He's got the mind link ability, and he can mind link to anything with X antibody. Sock as well, so of course he'll go with his SOC stuff, but also X antibody. Anything with the X antibody trait, any Digimon with X antibody trait, he can now source himself underneath and give them piercing and blocker. That's just like so crazy. How many decks out there like X antibody themed decks? I mean, there's just so much going on that would love to have access to stuff like this. And I think like this will be a very much a must-have card and will be a mainstay card in people's collections. I mean, probably for years to come. Like literally, if we had this card back during BT9, it would still be played today. Like this just absolutely incredible card. So really looking forward to picking it up. Now, another one, a bit more obvious, but I still think it's worth talking about. Probably a lot of this well, a couple of these on the list are going to be definitely worth talking about. This Ukemon is really great for any like rogue deck. Of course, it's good for like a lot of mainstay decks as well, but rogue decks that don't have natural searchers, right? They weren't blessed with having that on play rookie reveal 3 or 5, grab whatever specific card, right, that they're supposed to have for their deck. This Ukemon basically just kind of overwrites that. So you just promote him up out of raising area and you immediately trigger his skill here because he instantly sees himself. When one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add one Digimon or Tamer card among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. You may hatch in your breeding area. So like you don't even have to worry about really losing out on a turn necessarily because he just immediately sets you up for progressing your game state. So even if you don't even plan on evoing with this guy or anything like that, just instantly good value there. So I think he's going to be a really cool, like kind of semi-mainstay card in a lot of rogue decks that are out there. So that's pretty awesome. All right, moving on. Let's see. Let's talk about a quick option card here. I know a lot of people were really excited for this. We got the reveal for English the other day, and they kept the name, so we get the full thing. Crazy, crazy long. Main, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add one card with the D-Brigade or Digipolice trait among them to your hand, return the rest to the top of the deck, place this card into your battle area. One, I just noticed we're finally getting past this in any order, like phrasing, like you put them back to the top of your deck. Of course, it's going to be in any order, right? Like you have to put them back in some sort of order. And so it's a good just kind of reveal card for D-Brigade. It's so generic. It's just any card. It's not restricted to Digimon. So D-Brigade or Digipolice. So it's going to help out multiple decks. While yes, it is restrictive to like archetype stuff, themed decks, it's still nice and generic in that way. You can add tamers off of this or option cards that have the traits, so really cool. And then the delay, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one card with the D-Brigade or Digipolice trait and a play cost 4 or less among them without playing the cost. Again, it's card, so it can be tamer or Digimon, it cannot be optioned because options don't have a play cost. They just have a cost. I did mess that up in a previous video a while back, so I wanted to make sure we clarify that you cannot play options off of these types of effects, but still, tamers being included is really, really awesome. So really looking forward to adding this into the deck. But moving on, let's get into something a little more specific. This Salamon. I don't know if everyone is like kind of aware. I know a lot of people hate SetCon, and I think SetCon is starting to slowly like phase out. I think we're just getting more and more to this like different type of playstyle of just a game. So I don't know how long SetCon will stay around, but for now, Yellow Purple SetCon now has a rookie that has both colors. We've always talked about, you know, like what if they had a baby that was yellow and purple? Like that would be just bonkers. This is like the next best thing, right? So you're going to Evo this for 0 on top of your Narrowmons, and then you're just set up. You don't have to worry about running tamers or anything crazy like that. Or as many tamers necessarily, or like your whole strategy is so pivotal around having a yellow, you know, in raising and then a purple tamer on field. If they pop your purple tamer, then you just can't do anything. This kind of just gets rid of all of that, you know, stress of running like a SetCon deck. I know people are like, yeah, make those those SetCon players stress. But no, it's for real. Like that's, this is really, really crazy that we're getting stuff like this. So, more duo color rookies, and then putting them, like making combinations like this is a really powerful combination. So we'll kind of have to see where this goes. I don't know if the effect here will do much for the deck, but the duo color definitely will. All right, let's do something really cool. One of the cards I am beyond excited about. We talked about it a bit in the opening. We got a new Pyldramon for Imperial. Yeah, we got some Imperial support, but literally, I don't think any of that support would matter if this Pyldramon did not exist. Partition is a new keyword that we're getting in this set. We'll go over the inheritable here because it explains it. So it's a partition, blue level 4, green level 4. When this Digimon with one of each specified card in its Digivolution cards would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects or in battle, you may play one of each card without paying their cost. So basically, if this would die or just get removed off the field because of like an option card, you now just get to split your 2 level 4s right back out, opening them back up for another DNA into another level 5, which is all what this deck mainly focuses on. So that is crazy. That's so good. I mean, the deck has jamming, right? So you don't have to worry about the battle. The only battle part you have to worry about is if your opponent has blockers, right? If they're going to block you, of course, that's a problem. This deck, of course, has ways to deal with such things, but just wanted to point that out. We have jamming, right? So we're covered on battle in hitting security, and now we're also covered by options. The whole reason I originally stopped playing Imperial way back when was because I would die to options, right? BL Star was super popular at that time, and so if you took that to a tournament and you swung in, you know, with your Pyldras or whatever, and you hit into a fly bullet, it's just game over, right? It took so long to build back up again into another level 5. It was very frustrating. Our prayers have been answered. Finally, we have something that works, and Partition will take us to new heights. I'm so excited to play Imperial again. Also, this new Pyldramon, like, you don't have to worry about losing out on your Pyldramon, right? Because you're like, oh, but the original was so good, right? You bottom deck a 6K or less, and you get to attack twice. Like, attacking twice, so good. With jamming, right? So now we have this. We have our Partition as a main effect as well, which is very, very important. Super key to have it as both the inheritable and as the main effect here. And then when Digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as this Digimon. So right off the bat, you're going to have two level 4s, a rookie, maybe 2, because of the new way to play the deck, as well as a baby. I mean, you got 5 inheritables. That's pretty good. And then if DNA digivolving, all of your opponent's Digimon can't unsuspend until the end of your opponent's turn. So you just lock down their field. You don't have to worry about all those blockers. You just run right past them because they're all suspended. And then when attacking once per turn, suspend one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So if there was something that had a crazy amount of inheritables, like a Machine Dramon or something, like that would kill this deck, right? Machine Dramon would be like, oh, that sucks. I can't do anything about that. And he's like, nope, gonna suspend that one too, right? You still have to worry about the redirect, of course, but just as an example of a big stack that you couldn't normally do it with the Wind Digivolving. But if you don't, if this Digimon didn't suspend, unsuspend this Digimon. So you still get to attack twice. More than likely, his Wind Digivolving is going to suspend anything of a threat. And then when you use your Wind attacking, then you'll just unsuspend. So strong. Really, really powerful card. Absolutely 4 of in the deck. All right, let's do something green. Yeah, let's go over, we got 2 green cards actually I want to talk about. Tyrant Kabuterimon here. This card is wild. When Digivolving, you may play one Digimon card with an Insectoid or Larva trait from your hand with the play cost reduced by 8. That's massive. I mean, you're level 5s and lower, you're playing for free. All turns while this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. So you attack with this guy, he's now suspended. He's no longer affected by any of your opponent's effects, right? Isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. Weird way to word that, but opponent's Digimon effects. So no retaliation or anything like that, or you know, whatever. Getting bounced, Pyldramon suspending it, anything like that. Well, it's already suspended, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that's pretty good. And then end of your turn once per turn by suspending one of your other Digimon. Return one of your opponent's Digimon with the DP less than or equal to the DP of Digimon suspended by this effect to the bottom of the deck. So whatever you played off this, you can instantly suspend that if you're passing turn here to then, of course, bottom deck something. You're thinking, well, it's like level 5s, okay, so you're kind of limited, but you're not. The next card we're going to talk about is the Grand Kawagamon. Has a play cost of 7, right? So you can play this guy. He's an Insectoid. You can play this guy for free off your Tyrant here. He's a 12,000 DP Digimon. And then, boom, you're bottom decking a 12,000 DP or less Digimon with the Tyrant effect. So really strong there. But he's also really great because he gets an on-play effect, which is going to be important. Or when Digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers cards suspended by this effect can't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase, then delete one of your opponent's suspended Tamers. So got some Tamer hate in green, which is really rare, so that's great to hear and great to see. And then your turn once per turn, when this Digimon becomes suspended, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. So he could give it to himself. So say you attack with him and you're like, okay, I'm going to give himself security attack +1. Or you can swing and say attack over something else that's a problem, right? And then give the security attack +1 to something else, and then that thing goes in ahead and attacks security. So I really like the flexibility of that. Like most of the time, you'll probably just give it to himself, but there will be some situations where you don't want to, and so I like that. So these two are going to be a very powerful combo together. So green, look out. We finally have new decks to play that isn't named Bloom, okay? Or isn't a fairy or plant-based deck anymore. Finally, the bugs are coming back. So that's really, really awesome for those guys. Let's see. I don't want to talk about the big ones just yet, so we're going to jump down in here. Back to D-Brigade for just a second. Tank Dramon. So the deck has had Cargo Dramon, which has been great, right? But all the other support is pretty dated for that deck. So we had an old Tank Dramon that was okay, but it was a Wind Digivolving effect, right? And if you played it off of like Brigade Dramon, because it's 7 play cost or less, right? You got no on-play value. So now we have an on-play Digimon for the deck as a secondary level 5 for the deck. So I'm really happy for that. Will this be as important as Cargo? Probably not. Like this will be your secondary level 5 of choice, but still so much better than the other tank. So on play or when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. For each card with D-Brigade or Digipolice trait, reduce the play cost of all your opponent's Digimon by 1 for the turn. Return the revealed cards to the top or bottom of the deck. No more worrying about trashing, so that's kind of nice. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. So what's really neat about this is he lowers the play cost of stuff, right? And then you get to pop something for play cost or less. But if you combine this with DCD Bomb, which de-digivolves one of your opponent's Digimon and then pops 6 play cost or less, in combination with this guy already reducing them by potentially 3 play cost, that's so good. So that's 9 play cost that you're basically able to get rid of, I would say up to, with a de-digivolve. So you're taking any Mega down to a level 5. You're probably popping them. So really nasty combinations. I love the synergy with a whole lot of the deck, right? There's just a lot of stuff. Even Brigadramon. If you go Brigadramon right after this on top of this, like the synergies are just so good. Really, really excited for that. And then inheritable here, when one of your other Digimon with D-Brigade or Digipolice trait is played, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So again, more value there for sure. So really looking forward to all the synergy going on. Digivolve, I think, is going to be really powerful moving forward, especially with stuff like Blast Aces or Blast Digivolve. Blast Ace is a set, but being able to digivolve that stuff is going to be really, really good. So really cool card for D-Brigade. Really looking forward to playing D-Brigade again. Now we've got a whole new, like, basically Evo line up to level 5. Technically level 6, but you won't use that new one. Let's see. Let's do something a little bit different. Maybe something most people wouldn't expect. Valkyremon Ace, if you watched our live stream, we went in pretty good in depth with this card. 7 play cost or 3 Evo on top of Sylphimon or 4 on top of anything else. It is a Blast Evo, though, so that's your ideal play here, or on play when Digivolving. All of your opponent's Digimon get minus 5,000 DP for the turn, so that's going to be really great if your opponent's trying to swing over like a level 5 of yours, and then you're like, okay, Blast Evo Valkyremon, minus 5k on it, I'm 12k, you die. Like, not bad. So that's pretty cool. But it's also all of your opponent's Digimon. So if they're like a Rookie Rush style deck or an Ukamon stun deck, you can just go Valkyremon Ace, nuke your whole board with minus 5k. That's pretty great. And then all turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from a security stack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. If this effect didn't delete, this Digimon gets +1 security attack until the end of your turn. So that's really great. If you Blast Evo this in the opponent's turn, kill something, you get security attack +1. It now becomes your turn after they pass, right? And then you do the same thing. You say you could either Blinding Array to clear one of your own, or you could swing. That first check goes off, a card has been removed, so this all turns effects, it's a blanket effect, it's always in play. You instantly get another security attack +1. So now you got security attack +2, and you're in the middle of security checks, and you're getting more security checks. That's just crazy combos that you can do with that. Also, the big takeaway here is this is a warrior trait. We haven't had warrior traits hardly at all in quite a while, because Lord Nightmon, way back when, can play warriors for free. So the fact that Lord Nightmon can play Valkyremon Ace for free is going to be wild. So just like getting that on play effect, just so good. And especially when you get to attack multiple times with Lord Nightmon, so you play a second Valkyremon Ace, oh man, that's like game over, right? So that's going to be crazy seeing this. I hope to see it at least in some events. I think it's a really cool card, and it's got some great potential for sure. All right, just a few left before we jump into the final bit here. I was looking for a card for purple, right? Because I was like, well, you know, I've covered all this other stuff. I'm like, well, what in purple like really strikes me as a great card, you know? Something that's going to be like revolutionary for a deck. And I think Dino Beamon is probably that deck. Man, purple red Imperial been in a spot, right? Been in a spot for a bit. It came out, it just didn't really do well. We got a recent promo in the form of Shadramon, which was, you know, pretty cool, but still not quite enough to bring the deck up. But now we got a new level 5 that's actually really awesome. It's got Raid for the deck, which is going to be super awesome. And then when Digivolving, if DNA Digivolving, you may play one level 5 or lower Digimon card with free trait from your trash without paying the cost. Then one of your Digimon gains a rush for the turn and may attack a player. So you DNA into this, and then you play out another level 5. It can get a free attack in with that rush, and then you can swing with this guy as well. Then you can DNA them together, you know, and you're just popping off. As well as it gives partition. And I think that's a huge thing because with the purple-red Imperial, getting that to pop off takes time. It takes setup, right? And you don't want to lose. Second you lose your stack, you're just like, crap. Okay, well, that's just game over because I pretty much can only ever get into one stack. Now it has partition, and I think that's going to help it a ton. So really excited for Dino Beam on there to be able to help out the purple-red Imperial. I think it's going to be, we'll probably see it a little bit more. Like, we never saw the original in events. I think we'll see it in events, though, moving forward. Now, how many in the top 16? Maybe one top 16 every so often. So nothing too crazy, like meta-defining, but at least, like, absolutely defining for a deck that really could use the support. All right, and I think that is almost it. We got one more before we talk about the big dogs. Not that this isn't a big dog in itself, but we got Fighter Mode Ace, Blast Evo level 6, super strong. On player, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards than this Digimon to the bottom of the deck. We already talked about the Paildramon and how many inheritables you can have. We're talking about 5 there. If you talk about the Paildramon, that's 6. If you happen to have a Dragon Mode, that's 7 inheritables. You're really sending most everything to the bottom of the deck. That's really strong. It's on a Blast Evo, so you can Evo for free in the middle of your opponent's turn, just being able to send something to the bottom of their deck. And the thing is, you can do this on a level 5 or a Dragon Mode. The flexibility on the Blast Evo on this is just so gnarly, and it's hard for the opponent to plan for, right? I don't know if they're gonna, would they Blast Evo and skip the Dragon Mode, or do they have the Dragon Mode, or whatever. So that's crazy. And then end of attack once per turn, unsuspend this Digimon. That's super key for all you long-term Imperial players out there, played it in BT12 or whatever. When you went into your fighter mode, you're like, cool, fighter mode, he's cool. I don't have any sort of unsuspend effects that I can reliably use a whole lot. Like, they were all kind of situational stuff. This is just every turn. End of attack, once per turn, unsuspend this Digimon. It feels good that I can just leave my fighter mode out there and I don't feel like I'm losing any value, right, on my stack. Then if you have Dragon Mode is in this Digimon's Digivolution card, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. No restrictions on inheritables or anything with this one. We've got some effects that just when attacking, we get to suspend one Digimon. So then end of attack, we just bottom deck whatever threat that was. So Fighter Mode Ace, super strong. And I just found out about this today, so I want to throw it in there as an honorable mention. All turns when an opponent's Digimon is played or Digivolved by an effect, if you have a tamer, this Digimon may Digivolve into Fighter Mode in your hand without paying the cost. What's important about that? Digivolve by an effect. Blast Evo is an effect. So if you swing with your Dragon Mode and they Blast Evo to mess you up, your all turns effect will immediately kick in, because the way all turns effects are, they're a blanket, always like on the ready, just always in effect, ready to go. And as soon as the conditions is met, they immediately trigger. So then you can then just Evo into your fighter mode to counter their play. So crazy. Like the level of like player needed to like handle this just jumped up, I feel like, because of that effect. Not everyone's going to know that, and that's going to be so wild, and the combos are going to be, whew, man, you're just going to like blow people out of the water. They're going to be like, okay, I'm going to Blast Evo when you attack with your Dragon Mode to like disrupt your attack, and then you're like, haha, I'm now going to do that as well. Or say you're attacking with something else and Dragon Mode's just chilling, you can still just Evo, right, your fighter mode, and then just use that fighter mode when Digivolving effects. So that's gnarly combinations there. So yeah, I'm so excited for Imperial. But now I think it is time that we talk about the two elephants in the room. For anyone that's stuck around this long, I greatly appreciate you listening to me ramble. We're in no particular order. We're just going to go with the first one here. Rapidmon X Antibody, Vaccine Armor, or just the pure Rapidmon armor build. Both decks are going to be super strong. When Digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon. Then this Digimon may attack. So you evo this for like 4 evo cost, right? And then you suspend everything, and then you can immediately attack. Basically, it's Blitz, but they've just gone away from using the keyword Blitz because they messed up in their development early on, and too many things trigger because of the keyword Blitz. So they just use this terminology now. And then all turns, while Rapidmon or X Antibody is in the Digimon distribution cards, all of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 4,000 DP. So you attack with this, and then boom, blanket effect, minus 4K to your whole field. All turns, just always in effect. Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating, right? So just all turns at that minus 4K on their field, right? It is suspended though. So if you're like hard playing a rookie and like, okay, well, don't, long as that rookie isn't suspended for some weird reason, you hard play it, you still get your searches, right? It's not as bad as like a ruin mode. I think I skipped over that the other day when we were talking about Rapidmon. But yeah, minus 4K on all their suspended stuff. So anytime they wanted to attack with it or block, anything like that, it's going to be in effect, and it's just all turns. So if you get 2 of these bad boys out suspended, that's minus 8K to their field. Just like attacks will never go through at that point, I feel like. And then all turns once returned when an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle or by having 0 DP, gain 2 memory. So that's going to be great for you. One, if you evo into this and then you essentially blitz, right? It becomes suspended. You killed something. Cool. I gain 2 memory back. I keep turn. Great. Like, that's not what you want to see. Also, during your opponent's turn as well, like, they do something and their Digimon gets deleted, and then boom, you just gain 2 memory in the middle of their turn, like probably stealing turn. Crazy good card. Like, the control element of this Rapidmon is mind-boggling, especially getting multiples in play, because like all their abilities are going to stack, right? You got 2, that's 4 memory you're gaining. You got 2, that's 8K you're minusing to their field. Just, oh gosh, I'm not looking forward to it. But at the same time, I so am. Like, I almost want to play this. There's just so much I'm already wanting to play. I can't also, unfortunately, justify also playing Rapidmon. All right, and the last card we're going to talk about, of course, is the Magnamon X Antibody, a card that some people are already calling for to get hit, and it is pretty crazy. So Blocker, Armor Purge, of course, that's Magnamon in a nutshell there. You can Evo on top of any other Magnamon for a 5 Evo cost, or 3 Evo cost if you use the Awakening of the Golden Digizord, whatever it's called, I forget the translations. And then when Digivolving, if Magnamon X Antibody or a card with Armor Form in its traits, which is going to be all of your level 4s in your entire deck, so you're probably going to have it, is in this Digimon's distribution cards, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's effects and gets plus 3,000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Then unsuspend this Digimon. Crazy. And then all turns once per turn, when a card is removed from a security stack, you may activate one of this Digimon's when Digivolving effects. All of those effects are under a single when Digivolving, so it's not like they're individual when Digivolving effects. It's a single when Digivolving effect with all of that. Yeah, so that's gonna be crazy. So there's so many ways you can like go around this, right? So one, it isn't affected by your opponent's effects. Digimon, options, tamers, whatever. It's just not affected. It's so generic. It's too generic, honestly. It should not have been that generic, but it is. So needless to say, I'll be playing this deck at some point. It's going to be my wife's deck, but anytime she's not playing it, I will definitely be playing it. It is super good. Just powerful card. So it's basically always going to be sitting at 15K. It's going to be always unaffected by effects of your opponents. And then it unsuspends. So say you attack with this and you check a security, hopefully it survives. But because of its all turns effects is when a card is removed from a security stack. This is the same thing like with the Koromon that Red Hybrid runs, right? Is like even if the Digimon was to die because of like battle or something like that, the card is removed first and then you get the effect, right? The only time that isn't the case is if you check an option card. But if it's just a Digimon battle and it would be, you know, deleted, a security card was checked. Boom, when Digivolving effects all kick in. Gosh. And so it's like, oh, well, I just gave myself plus 3K. Now I don't die anymore. Like, awesome. Great. Love to hear it. Yeah. So just gonna be crazy. And as well as this is a almost a yellow based deck, right? It's got a ton of yellow stuff in it. That gives it access to blinding ray. So you just blinding ray before you swing. Okay, well now I'm not affected and I got plus 3K, so now I can just swing. Yeah, you'll lose out on that unsuspend effect, but say you could even say you swing with this first and clear a body off field. You know, it's like, well, I don't want to waste the unsuspend. I'll just go ahead and swing over that body of yours. Now I'm going to play blinding ray, unsuspend, get all my great shenanigans, and then swing into your security. Oh, it's so strong. And then one of the things that kind of balanced out the old Magnamon X was it wasn't a free type. So a lot of your Vmon searches missed. You can't even use the Vmon that adds a 2-color blue Digimon because it's a 3-color. So you can't use that Vmon anymore. So you're pretty much stuck with only being able to use the free ones. And now they hit. So they used to not hit, and now they do. And that's going to be pretty much all of your searcher Vmons are all going to be able to search this guy out now, unlike the original, which you couldn't. Yeah, balance, power creep, whatever you want to call it. It's crazy, this set. But I don't know if it's crazy in necessarily a bad way though. Like don't take it the wrong way. It's pretty wild, but I think it's gonna be a fun wild. Not like Apocalypse, like, I milled you out, you didn't get to do anything. Like, that's not fun. But I think this will be fun. These are like super fan favorite Digimon, right? Vmon in general, all of Vmon stuff is huge fan favorites. So I think it'll be a fun time. I know a lot of people are going to be excited for this set. I'm loving this. The alt arts for this set are phenomenal. This is the single set in the entire iteration of this game, and I literally played at pre-release in 2020 November, Black Friday. I was there picking up my 1.0 boxes, right? I've been in this since the beginning with you guys, and there's never been a set that has had as many alt arts that I have wanted as this set does, because it's just crazy. The alt arts look so good. There's just so many different things in this one set that I would just want, and I could probably want almost every alt art, and that's never happened. But I narrowed it down to 8, right? It's 8 or 9, and I'm like, okay, that's a lot. My wallet's gonna hurt on this set, but I'm just so excited for it. I hope you guys are excited as well. If there's a card that I missed that you're super excited about, let me know. Tell me what it is. What about it you like so much? Because I'm just always excited to learn new things, see what other people are cooking up. You know, just to give myself inspiration. We can feed off of each other and give everyone, the whole community, like, let's just feed each other in excitement for this game, right? And help each other out. That's what I'm here for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you made it this far in the video, haven't already, please like it. I would greatly appreciate that. And please subscribe if you're somehow still this far in and haven't subscribed yet to the channel. Clearly there's something about this that you enjoyed. So I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.